Okay guys, here's another video that I've been working on. About to show you a teardown of some projectors to see what materials I get inside there for gold recovery, to add to my collection of materials that I'm collecting up to do these gold recovery videos, hopefully in the future. So first off, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video. Leave comments, always welcome to the comments. So I have three projectors. I have a Sony, I have a Sanyo, and Binco, I think it's pronounced B-E-N-Q, Binq or Binco. So I'm going to tear these down and see what materials I get inside for this gold recovery. This is my first time tearing down any projectors. I've never really got projectors before, so I've just got three of them here now. It's the first time I've got them, so I've never taken these apart. I've taken laptops, all that sort of stuff, which most people get. I'd say subscribe to the channel. I think I've added another 10-15 subscribers this week, so that's good that I keep getting between 5-10 subscribers a week on average. Hopefully I can up that number a bit. So if you're watching this video and you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell symbol to remind you when I have a new video up. Leave a comment. I really appreciate when people leave comments, or anyone that subscribes. It's just a great feeling when people subscribe to your video. It means they like your video, they enjoy your videos, or they're interested in the same things that you're interested in. So I'm going to start by removing all the screws first from them. So again, as I said, I'll come back when I have all these screws removed from the actual projectors. I was just looking there, a lot of screws seem to have been removed already, so maybe someone was trying to fix this at one stage or something like that on some of these. This one has all the screws intact there. I see all the screws are there. Okay, so I'm going to come back when I have all the screws removed, and we'll move on to the next stage, and we'll see what type of boards are inside, what sort of gold material, precious materials. Say it should be gold, gold on the boards hopefully, a bit of silver maybe, platinum, some MLCC, stuff like that hopefully. So I'll come back once I have taken all the screws out of these. Okay, so I've removed most of the screws I can see. I presume there's always going to be one or two you're going to miss, so we'll know when we start taking the covers off, stuff like that. So before we start that, we'll just have a quick look around them. So this one, because see here, there'll be gold connectors inside of here, there'll be gold connectors inside of here, more gold connectors in here. I'll just try and get a bit more light switched on to try and brighten the place up a small bit, because it's fairly dull here in the winter. So as I was saying, in here you'll have usually your gold connections will be inside of here on your VGAs, on that, likes of that, audio, USB, saying USB, so it's the old type USBs. So again, there usually be gold little connectors inside of that. We'll just remove that because I've loosened the screws off from here and here. We'll take this little connection off. Okay, so as you can see here, again, gold pins. So we've got some gold pins here, a few more screws in here. So what I'll do is I'll take that apart later on. For the moment, we'll just carry on taking away the main. So I'll put that aside till we take it apart inside and we'll see what's inside of here later. Okay, so we'll try and take off the cover now and see if we have all the screws out or not. Okay, so she's coming off there. She's not coming off from here, so again, I presume there's a screw missed somewhere, so we may have to have another look at this one. There we go, so we've removed the cover. So again, I can see a little board inside of here, so I'll just remove the connection. So there's a board inside of here with a few screws on it. So we'll see if we can just remove this fairly quickly and have a look at this board. Change the head on that. Seems to be very low grade board, doesn't seem to have much on it from looking from here. Okay, so again, it's mainly on the top of where the switches were. So again, we should find some silver contacts usually in these switches. So again, you can put that aside for your silver processing at a later stage. The back of the board itself, again, nothing much. Could be possibly silver and silver contacts on it. So again, put that aside for a few LEDs which should have a little bit of gold inside them. So a few little lights here, LEDs, so they should have a little bit of gold inside them. The remainder of that is just plastic. So as I was saying in a few of my videos, I have a person who buys the plastic off me. I've been talking to a few people online who can't seem to find a buyer for it, for their stuff, especially in America. But I have come across a few sites there in America that do buy it. So if your local person doesn't buy it, maybe if you show them that there is sites that are buying it and that you may get some money out of them then, rather than lose you to someone else. They may be interested in paying you for your plastics. So as you can see here now from the rest of this, there's a lot more screws inside here. So again, I'm going to pause this. Again, I'll take the covers off the rest of these. I have them opened already. So again, I'll remove the covers. So when we come back, we should have 3 of them removed, no covers on them, and all the screws removed inside, and we get a closer look at the type of boards and stuff like that that's inside of them. Again, I'm just looking here at the few boards here. They're fairly low grade by the looks of it. Doesn't seem to be much on them. A few IC chips, maybe a few gold connectors inside of here. Inside of here, a few gold connectors. Other than that, doesn't seem to be much on that board on there. So I'll pause that. I'll remove whatever visible screws again I can see, take off the cover. So again, a lot of screws hidden underneath here. So we'll be back once I do that, and we should have them broken down a bit further. Okay, so I've removed a lot of the cover from the top here, so we're just going to have a closer look at it now to see what we can see inside of this. So we'll just loosen this first. So we'll go back to this little board here that we were looking at there before I paused the video. So again, fairly low grade board, few little gold pins inside of here, gold pins inside of here, more gold pins there. That's a little connection again, gold pins inside of that. On the back of it again, could be possibly silver. We can test that with a little bit of bleach to see if it's silver or not. So again, that's that board, fairly low grade. Few ICs, small ICs, few MLCCs on it, 1 or 2 MLCCs on it. So again, bit of aluminium on it, nothing major on that board. Also, we have a little power supply board. So again, you're not going to have much on that. You're going to have copper on your transformers. Another little transformer in here with copper on it. Inside of the board here again, I see some IC chips. So again, a few IC chips on that. So again, you can remove that from there by breaking it off, I presume. We can bend it back and get a closer look at it. So there we go. So again, you can see the IC chips there. An IC chip here. MLCCs. Nice few MLCCs on it. Other than that, nothing major on that one either. So again, fairly low grade. So yeah, mainly copper on that. That's all you're going to have on there. Down here, inside here again, we have another bit of a board. You can see a lot of copper on this, copper spools on it, aluminium. So we have an aluminium heatsink on it. So there's nothing else really there. I'll just take a few more screws out and see can we remove this board and get a right look at it, just to see if there's anything worth besides the copper. Again, the copper all adds up. If you put your copper aside, it'll all add up in your copper collection. So I'll just try and remove as much as I can so I can get access to it maybe. Screw up here. Okay, so again, so saying you have your copper, a lot of copper, aluminium, nice chunk of aluminium there, nice seed chip here, so we've got a little IC chip, few MLCCs on it, very small MLCCs. We'll have a switch, so hopefully a bit of silver in the switch. That's about it. There's nothing else there really. We can just see if we can remove that aluminium heatsink from. So this one doesn't seem to want to remove too easy from it, but we have it bent back now, so that's it. So it's probably soldered on the bottom. Looks like it's soldered to it, but we get it off. Okay, so that's our little bit of aluminium. So you can clean that up, take any bit of magnetic steel of it, clean it up, put it in with your aluminium. The board itself, said it's more power board again, so you have your copper mainly on that, nothing else really major there. See if we can get in a bit deeper now. We can try and remove a few more of these screws. So we can remove this cover. So we have a little bit of a speaker there. I see a little speaker. More screws holding it. A lot of screws goes into these projectors. So again, must have another screw somewhere, or yeah, in behind here. So we need to maybe remove this fan from the back first. It seems to be holding it on. So you see here there's a big fan here at the back, so if we can get that removed, we'll get access to a few more, hopefully, screws. Okay, so we'll remove the fan. So you can screw the fans off if you want to get the fans. You might have a use for them. If you're building some sort of fume hood or something like that, it can give you a bit more access. So again, this gives us a bit of access now to this screws here at the back of this cover, and we'll see what's underneath here. So far the boards have been pretty low grade, mainly power boards, few IC chips, MLCC, so nothing major on them. So again, if the projector is working, as I say, so again, nothing underneath that, just some plastic. If your item is working, you'll always get more money for it by selling it than stripping it down, tearing it down. I always do these videos for stuff that's broken, has no value as a resale. Just do the videos to show people what's inside them. So if I do the videos, maybe someone else doesn't have to waste their time doing it if it's not worth doing it. If I do it and it's something worth doing, then at least people know that's the stuff to keep an eye out for. If you're looking for stuff for gold recovery, you know, for gold recovery, other precious metals, the bulk of stuff that you'll be doing, you'll find are very low grade, very little gold in them, so you need a lot of them to make money on them. Again, copper and stuff like that you will get a lot of in stuff. So again, we have another aluminium little heat sink there. So again, remove any of the steel, any of the steel if it's that steel. remove it and put in with your aluminium for resale and the recycling, a bit more value for it. So again, we have a little bit of a board here, so if we can get access to it. Okay, we can see if we can get this out. No, we haven't enough screws out yet. So we'll return back to this board for the moment and take out the rest of these screws and see what's under this board. So again, I see a copper mainly on it, a bit of aluminium. So again, a little board here, a little bit of an IC chip, a few small tantalums it looks like, MLCCs. So again, nothing major on it. But they all add up eventually. If you get enough of anything, it'll be worth money. So wire, so again for copper, put that in with your copper wire. Just put a screw with these actual. Okay, them. Another one here. Too big. So we have an awkward one to get out. It's just an awkward spot to get a good grip on it with anything. Let's see if I can remove. I can get the board out without. I can just rip the board out maybe. There we go. So we rip the board out instead. So again, this board, fairly low grade, bit of aluminium, again copper, small little bit of aluminium again. Nothing else really major on there, just the aluminium and the copper. On the back we have nothing, maybe a little small IC chip here, very little stuff on that board. Okay, so just a few more screws here now to start working on. So again, so there's a lot of screws on these. These projectors, a lot of work to them just to get very low grade stuff inside of there. These ones anyhow. As I have two more to do. Once I finish this one, I'll strip the other two out off camera and we'll come back and see what I found in them. So again, a little fan or a little motor of some sort. So again, you'll have copper inside of that. So again, you can put that in with your, you can tear it down further, or you can put it in just as it is, with your motors. So an awkward screw. The angle of it is very hard to get into. Let's see if we can remove this here first to give me a better angle. Okay, that worked. So don't forget to subscribe. If you're not a subscriber, you're watching this video, subscribe. If you have your own channel, I'll also subscribe to your channel, and as I say, we'll try and build our communities. So again, inside of here it's just a copper bearing motor. So again, you'll have your copper on that, so That could be pretty much a copper. Okay, let's see, where do we go from here? Oh, a nice little find. A nice little find, a ceramic processing chip. So that must be the main chip of the projector. So nice little ceramic. So again, nice little bit of gold flashed, it looks like. Ceramic. So again, we can put that in with my ceramic chips, break it down further, and we'll see what's inside of that when I do my video on my ceramic chips. So again, I'm working on that video at the moment, but I'm not going to be putting that video up until I have more subscribers. So I'll add this into it. Hopefully, if I haven't gone past too much of it, to add this bit in, I might just do this separately on another video. So that's a nice little find there. So that was just behind the lens. So that's a nice little find. That makes it a little bit better straight away. That's improved how this projector is looking. I'd like to know what's inside of this, but it's not exactly easy to get to. If I can get the lens out, I might be able to get a bit further down. This is very, very awkward now to figure out what is holding this together. So I don't see any more screws really. I'll just pull that out actually. Now, so that's where the chip was sitting on. So you have your little holder. You had the chip wherever I've put out that down. Here we go. So we had our little chip on this, made contact with these gold contacts. So again, this gold contacts here and now, some more gold. So that's quite nice to find. So that held that in place, and then you just had the holder over that again. Was it that way? No, it actually looks like it's this way. So that's set in there, like that. And that, you have your little gold contacts along here. So again, that has gold inside of the holder, and they seem to have sat there on that. So that's a nice little find. So again, as you see, there's a little bit gold inside of all these connections. Gold here on this. Some gold connections here. Gold flashed here, and the main chip. So that was quite nice little find there to come across. So hopefully we can remove this other part, and hopefully there's a nice little board inside of here, because if this is the main processing board, this should be the one with the gold on it. So this may just improve to be a nice little find. So I just need to get that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video for a minute, see if I can get a bit more access to this, because this is an awkward one. I just can't figure how to remove this lens. It seems to be held on by something I'm missing out on somewhere. I just don't know where it is. Aha, I think I may have found it. There's a screw inside of here, so if we can remove this board from here, which I'm sure I missed a screw, but maybe the legs were acting as screws and holding things in place. Okay, let's see now, do I get... Definitely a screw holding this somewhere. And I don't think it was... Okay, so found the screw that's holding it anyhow. So that was a bit brutal, but we'll get there in the end. Now, okay, we'll put that aside for a second. So we'll just remove these screws and have a look at the main board. So hopefully, after finding that nice little chip on this one, this board will be a nice little board. Ah yes, very nice little board. So straight off, we have your BGA gold corner chip, some nice IC chips, a crystal oscillator ceramic type, another one here. So again, they contain gold and silver. So that's a nice size BGA as well, gold corner BGA. So if we get down to the next level. So on the back of it, again, we have some IC chips, some tantalums, MLCCs, tantalums here on the front again. So again, not a bad looking board. Once you get one of them on it, puts it into a higher grade board. So once you have the VGA gold cap. So again, you'll see in the videos how to process them in future videos. So subscribe if you want to see how I do them. The next level underneath, we'll see how we get this buck out. He's going to be a bit difficult to get out because I need to remove these first. So again, I'll remove them. I'm going to have to get little pliers, just screw them off with the pliers, and that should allow me access to the rest of it. So I'll just remove that just to make sure that's everything that I need to remove. Yeah, so I'm going to have to remove that. So again, I'll do that off camera because you don't need to see me screwing out all them connectors here. They have to be removed first, them little connectors, them little nut type connectors. So I'll do that with a little vice grips or pliers, and then we'll come back. I'll have taken apart the other ones completely, so hopefully we'll have a nice little haul of stuff then to look at. Again, the lens here, so I have access now to remove that as well. So as you can see, the screws are just here, but we're holding that in, they were hiding on me, so I can just loosen them screws off now, and that should help me get a bit more access into these. So there we go. So now I'm not going to probably break this down much further because I don't know enough about these to know if there's anything of real value inside them. So I'll do a bit of research on them, and hopefully in this description I'll be able to tell you if it's worth taking these apart, because I don't think there is much in there, to be honest, but again, I could be wrong. So if you've taken these apart, actually that's what I'll do. If you've taken this apart and anyone's taken one of these apart, let us know what's inside of it. If you've done a video on it, link it, put it in your comments on my video, and people can go over and have a look at it. Now, if you're putting anything in my comments, I expect you to be a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, please don't comment or leave links to your own videos without having been a subscriber to my channel. So we'll pause that there, and we'll come back once I've taken these all apart. Okay, so I was planning on coming back when I had all the ones done. So I have another projector, and I was on the second one. So this one looked to be a fairly nice one. So the way it was set up, it's a Sony one. So I said I'd just do a little tear down on this one while we're here as well. I'll just take this one apart. So I've loosened a lot of screws. There's still one or two that needs to be loosened to give us access, but the boards seem to be fairly nice boards looking at them. So this seems to be a lot better, maybe a higher grade, maybe a better brand of one. So again, we just, okay, a bit of plastic. So again, I can just go in our plastic. So again, we have another screw holding this one somewhere. Just try and remove as many of these screws as I can so I can get a little bit of access to so that was just a fan actually, so it's not major there, just a fan. We'll remove him. Okay, disconnect. So we have any switches that need disconnecting here, cables running. So this one runs over to here. So again, even their switches, they've insulated them or covered them in a plastic sleeving to protect them. Makes it a bit more awkward for taking out, but we'll get there eventually. So you can see this one has a protective plastic sleeving over it. Okay, and okay, so again, just okay, plastic fan, and again, I think I've seen before that these contain silver, so we'll put that aside for when I'm doing silver to see if there's anti-silver in that. Board here on the back. So again, we have we've threw them nuts on it as well, so I'm gonna have to come back to him when I've removed them. Look here at this cover. We removed all the screws from it. I think we have. Yeah, we have. Okay, so possibly silver contacts inside of here and here. Sorry, inside of here and here, silver contacts possibly. So we put him aside. Nothing else than that. Some reflective sort of lens. Now there are these wires, or little ribbon connectors as I call them. So they've got gold on them. So you can see the gold flashed here. So if I can zoom in a bit for you. Ooh, can we focus? There we go. So we've got that gold flashing on them. So again, nice little find there. Them little ribbons, cut them down, get the little gold flashing, process them with your fingers. So again, part of the lens. Another nice chunk of lens, sort of lens glass for magnifying it. So nothing major in there. The actual lens itself. So again, sometimes you might be able to sell these lenses. Maybe possible that someone has one of these projectors and the lens is broken on it. Maybe possible it's worth checking maybe on eBay to see if anyone's selling them lenses. So again, some more reflective sort of glass on it. A lot of lenses on this one. We have a lot of little lenses. I see more back here. So more lenses. Reflective sort of mirrored, and a lens, and another lens. A lot of lenses on this one compared to the other one. So again, we have two more lenses here. I wouldn't like to be trying to put this back together now. So again, there's your ribbon connector with the little gold on it, and another one. So okay, so that was it. I just wanted to show you that board there because it looked fairly decent when I was taking it apart. You know, it looked like a fairly decent one. I have another board here actually, so I'll just show you this board. So again, IC chips on it, a lot of oscillator, big oscillator there, crystal oscillator on it. You can see some gold flash pins in here. On the back we've got tantalums, some MLCCs. So again, not a bad one. So we'll come back once I have it fully stripped out. I wanted to look at this board here, was the main thing I was looking at. So again, we've a big IC chip here, some IC chips there. On this side, IC chips, a little bit of gold flashing on it. Tantalums, ceramic crystal oscillators, IC chips, gold connecting pins. So that was it. So I'll come back once I've fully stripped out. Okay, so I've tore down the 3 projectors, and this is what I've got. So on the last one I tore down, I got some nice BGAs. So again, gold capped or gold chipped gold corner BGA with the black caps. So again, another one here. So that's 2 of them on that board. A lot of IC chips. Again, you can see a lot of IC chips on that board. The far side, mainly just aluminium inside of these. If you put them in a dirty aluminium, you can do that. I don't bother. I just take off the main IC chips is what I look for. Crystal oscillators, stuff like that, crystal oscillators. The main IC chips, as I said. So that, again, this board here will have gold connections inside of these when I tear them down further. So again, I couldn't find the pliers at the moment near hand, so I've just left that cover on it. Again, another board here. So again, a big IC chip on it, a couple of smaller IC chips on it. So on this side here, again, some more IC chips. So nice few IC chips on that board. This board, again, a small amount of IC chips on it. So you can see the IC chips here. Couple of crystal oscillators, tantalums, some MLCCs, very small MLCCs. Again, this board here had the nice gold color or gold black capped gold cornered BGAs. Again, it could possibly be a bit of silver there, and few IC chips, some sort of little chip here, like a little glass dyed chip. So I don't know if there's any gold inside that. We'll know that when I process it down. So that's that board. This board again, mainly one IC chip there, mainly dirty aluminium if someone wants to take them off and put them with their dirty aluminium. On the other side we have a few more IC chips. So again, a lot of IC chips on it. This one, again, this board, so nothing really major on the board, just the connections here, the little connections here will have silver usually contacts inside them. So again, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 little contacts along the board which will have silver inside of it. Another little board with an IC chip on it, a couple of MLCCs on it, nothing else major. Again, some more contacts on this one. So again, we got your contacts for silver. Another, excuse me, drop that. Another board which has a few IC chips on it. It has a crystal oscillator, quite a large one. Some gold bearing pins in here. You can just about see the gold. A couple of MLCCs on the back. Nothing else major on that one. Again, some MLCCs, which should contain hopefully a bit of either platinum, silver, possibly gold. So platinum prices are climbing up there at the moment, so it's worth processing them. Hopefully I'll do a video in the future. Again, as I said, I didn't get the to remove the protective cover off this to get a look at the other side of the board, but I think there's a black a cap inside there. I'll just see if I can bend it back a bit to give us a bit of a look inside it. Okay, yeah. So as you can see, there's another gold cornered BGA inside of that. Some more MLCCs, some more crystal oscillators, IC chips, tantalum. So again, quite a nice board there again. So that was off the first one that I done. So again, it's was quite a nice find on that one in the end. Started off a bit bad, but in the end it got good. So power boards, which will have your copper, your aluminium on them. So again, I have a good few within power boards. So I've got a few power boards with the copper, aluminium. So like that on this one here, again, you can see here a nice chunk of copper in the middle. Some more copper here inside this spool. Be more copper inside this transformer. A couple of spools of copper here. So again, they all add up in your copper collection. So again, another one here. So again, some two nice copper reels. Another one here, third one inside of that. So again, a nice little board there for copper mainly. Then we've got the where the chip was on that. So again, as I said, we have our gold flashed along here, gold flashed, gold pins on the ends. again, the holder for the chip. So that has got gold. You can feel, when I run my finger across it, I can feel the little connections. So they're gold. So again, nice little, you can see the gold there, just about. And then the chip itself. So we got a nice little ceramic gold chip. The only one I found, the other two didn't contain any of these. So first one was probably the better of the gold finds. Again, we have the ribbons. So I have a good few ribbons from Connections with the gold on them. Leather power board. So again, I didn't bother taking this down fully, but you can see the copper. Again, that's aluminium. I tested that with a magnet. It doesn't stick to it, so that's aluminium. So a couple of copper spools on it. Other than that, I think that was mainly it. We've got our aluminiums from our heat sinks. So in the end, it started off quite bad. I thought it was going to be bad boards on it. It looked like there was going to be bad boards. The first couple of boards were pretty poor, but then as I dug down into it, we got better boards. So again, you can see they were the power boards I was getting first. So I was thinking that it was going to be a bad refine on them. So in the end, it didn't. It turned out to be quite a good one. So that's all I have to really say on this video. If you have some of them thrown around, tear into them. Hopefully you'll find some nice chips in them. If you do, it'll be really worthwhile if you get a lot of them gold chips, the ceramic gold chips. So that should hopefully find a lot of them. I found that in I think it was the BinQ or whatever way they pronounce it. I don't know how they pronounce it, but hopefully if you find a few of them, it'll make it worthwhile. The boards, I said, if you look at some of the videos I've done, you can see how I get the chips off the boards. This one here, I forgot to take this apart, so we'll just take that apart there now and see if there's anything inside of that, and then I'll wrap up the video. That'll be it. If you've watched all the way to the end, thanks a lot for watching all the way to the end of the video. Hit subscribe, let me know what you think. I know sometimes my videos drag on a bit. This one's going to be quite a long one. I just like to tear down into the lot of it. Some people just tear down a bit and then just get out what they want out of it, and that's it. But I like to go down a bit deeper into them and see what I can get out of it fully. So just open this one now and that'll be it. We'll finish up the video then. So as I was saying, make sure you subscribe to the videos. So we'll just take the cover off that. So a few more screws inside of it, just to make it a bit more awkward for me. Couldn't just be straightforward that it'll come out without being another rake of screws inside. Okay, so, and another screw on the back then after I get the board out, so it doesn't, just see, can I remove that without the screw? Actually, there's a few little fingers just holding here. Okay, so that's it, just a little board, nothing major on it. A few connections have been here, be gold. On the far side, again, as I said, we have our gold pins in here, so that's just held together by a solder. So again, heat gun will release that solder and I can get into that and I can pull out the pins. So thanks for watching the video all the way to the end. Please subscribe, like, share, comment. If you want me to give a shout out to some of your videos, I will. If you want to give a shout out to me on some of your channels, I have no problem with that either. I say thanks to Scrapper Dave, who seems to be giving me shout outs a lot. Check out his channel. He does a lot of good videos there. Subscribe, like, share, and let's keep getting this gold refining.